Welcome back. It is Monday, April 8th in the MLB. Our four best bets are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. A solo Logan day, a 2-1 day. We certainly will take it. Started off with the Royals and White Sox. No run first inning. We always love waving these bad boys. Then I think that moves Nerfy Nation up to 6-3 on the year. Pretty solid. Then Logan, great call on Nationals money line. A little sweaty, 3-2 victory. They get the job done. Only loss of the day was Orioles. Team total over 4.5. I needed but a special shout out to Ryan Mountcastle, the only member of the Orioles to bring the bats yesterday as they end up losing that game, choking it pretty badly. But a 2-1 day with a plus the 136 winner. We take those, a 20-8 run. Let's hopefully continue that today. Now I do have some sad news, and we have to talk with the elephant in the room. There's no NBA video today. Why? Because there's only one game on today, and it's a college basketball game. It is obviously Purdue versus UConn. Well, Logan and I don't have a pick in that one. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end of this game or end of this video for fun. But there is a great offer right now on DraftKings if you want to bet on it. Bet on the championship game. You sign up using the top link in description. Make a $5 money line bet on any or $5 bet on any market tonight. Doesn't have to be money line. It can be anything you want. You get $150 in bonus bets, win or loss. So pretty dang good offer. Build up that bankroll on DraftKings. Logan and I talk about consistently. We love betting on DraftKings, especially for the MLB. They have those first 5 team totals, first 7 team totals, all those types of things. So if you haven't signed up for DraftKings yet, I think it's a good time to do it. You get those $150 in bonus bets, but also obviously, like we talked about, it's great for the MLB. We'll have a ton of bets on DraftKings over the rest of the remaining MLB season. And without further ado, let's dive into the first pick of the day. And you guys should know what it is. It's a Monday. You know what that means? The odds checker hit parlay is back. 5-0 last week. Can we move to 6-0 on them? Hey, we're going to try our dang best. But as always, you see the question marks on the screen. It's because we don't know who is in the hit parlay. You'll have to go check out the odds checker parlay, which should be live a little bit after this video drops. I'll say around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's what our editors were able to get it up last week. Should be around that same time. So here was where it will be. Pin comment. Be able to find it, as well as in the description and at the end of the video, and we'll tweet it out. So you have no issue of missing out on the hit parlay on odds checker. 2 guys to get a hit. We'll obviously type it up right after this video. Go check it out. Go check it out in all those places. I'll put it there once it is live. But without further ado, Logan, you have an under today, and I'll let you talk about it right now.
Yeah, I'm good. My favorite best bet of the day is going to be a total. And I'm going to the Mariners-Blue Jays game, and I'm taking the under 8.5, minus 120 odds on ESPN bets, your best value there. Now, the line on this one's kind of changing. It might be 8 on your book at the time we're recording this. I don't mind 8 as well. It could easily push at 8. 8's a pretty sharp number for these totals. But I'm going to go and take the 8.5 so that if it does end on 8, the 8.5 is a winner there. Now, if you're looking at this game, I do like the full game and the first 5 under. If you want to go first 5, you don't want to bet with the bullpens, I'm fine with that. I just don't. I'm taking full game because I actually think we get pretty decent length out of both these starting pitchers. Let's talk about who's starting for the Blue Jays today. It's Jose Barrios, 2.25 ERA and a 1.33 WHIP on the season so far for Jose Barrios. I've been impressed with him. You know, he's a streaky guy. He'll have a dud every now and then, but he's pitched well against 2 better offenses than Seattle. He faced the Rays and he faced the Astros. He held his own in both those games. Now he faces the Mariners offense. I do like the matchup today. Being a sinker pitcher, Barrios is able to get the ground ball outs. If you kind of know pitching, the sinker, it does lead to a lot of batters topping that pitch. When they top it, that induces the ground ball out. I have serious questions about this Mariners lineup, especially the bottom half of the lineup. I hate this Mariners lineup. I'm not going to lie. You guys know how the weekend went. I backed them twice. I doubled down on it. Luckily, it did work out for me. But good thing I did not triple down because they absolutely laid an egg yesterday. It was their pitching mostly, but I just don't trust this offense. Look at this Mariners team. They're hitting 205 versus righties. That's 25th in MLB. Rather than saying, yes, they are due, obviously, a better batting average than that, I'm just going with the numbers here. They are bad, and I know they're bad in pretty much every offensive category. 27th in runs per game, 29th in walks drawn, 25th in hits per game, and 28th in strikeouts. You look at those numbers. Logan, they're swinging at terrible pitches. I know. All it takes is watching some Mariners games to know that they love swinging in the dirt. They really hate taking ball 4. I don't know what it is. It's some hitter psyche going on in that Mariners lineup. They just cannot draw walks, which is fine against Jose Barrios, who sometimes is erratic. Jose Barrios does pitch out of the zone sometimes, and I bet he does get the Mariners to chase today. So I really do like his matchup. And then on the other side, we've got Luis Castillo pitching for the Mariners. 6.75 ERA and a 1.78 whip on the year for Luis Castillo. Not great numbers, especially for the Mariners ace. Castillo's expected ERA on StatCast is only a 3.45, so they're expecting some positive regression to take place for Luis Castillo, and I agree with that. This is the ultimate buy low spot for Luis Castillo. He's a better pitcher than that. He will be a sub-4 ERA guy when the season's said and done. His 2 game logs, you look at it, 4 earned runs allowed to the Guardians and the Red Sox. Both those offenses are actually really good offenses. Today, he gets a more favorable matchup with the Blue Jays. Toronto's only hitting 176 versus righties. That's 28th in MLB. That's worse somehow than the Seattle Mariners. And against Castillo, the Blue Jays are only hitting 211 in 82 plate appearances. So Luis Castillo has seen them before, and he's pitched really well. You remember a couple years back to the playoff games, Luis Castillo came into Toronto and absolutely cooked them. I hope he can do that once again today. Look at one of my favorite stats to look at: how you hit with runners in scoring position. Toronto, 28th in batting average with runners in scoring position. I mean, the chips on the table. I will take an under with a team that can't hit with runners in scoring position to save their life. In that Yankees series, they had several opportunities. They did get timely hits at some parts of that game, but in the other parts of that game, I was just like, "Yep, that's the Blue Jays I know and love." So I do think Luis Castillo is able to navigate his way through that. And then we look at the bullpens. Seattle 14th in bullpen ERA, Toronto 16th in bullpen ERA, both middle of the pack bullpens. I expect some decent pitching out of them, and I'm expecting both of these pitchers to be able to go 6+ innings pitched and actually limit the exposure we get in the bullpens. So all those factors combined, I do like the under in this one. No one likes betting an under in baseball. Trust me, it's my least favorite thing to do. But with these pitchers and these offenses, I'm gladly going to take an under as my best bet of the day. But Austin, you're going to balance me out, and you're going to take an over. And where are you going?
Yeah, no one likes betting under, so we're going to go to an over, and actually it's going to be a game not too far from me. As I'm in Dallas, and I'm going to the Astros and Rangers game. Now, I wish I was attending this game. However, I will be attending in Globe Life tomorrow when they get to face a much better team in the Athletics, which should be a blast. But without further ado, I'm taking the over 9.5 runs, -115 on BetMGM. Now, if you look at both of these, we got to battle the lefties, Framber Valdez and Andrew Heaney going out there. Now, I know a lot of people were on the over last night as it was at 10.5, and I think this line is honestly going to start approaching that. It's already at 10 on some books, could even get up to 10.5. I think the runs come today. And if you look at the first 3 games of the series, some of them have been pretty low score. I mean, you saw 12, the 9, and then only 4 runs yesterday as Blanco tried to put another run at another no-hitter. Threw a no-hitter last week, tried to go for another one. But we've yet to see both the offenses show up in these games. Then we've had very lopsided games. Yesterday, Yordan Alvarez was the only one that accounted for a home run for the Astros. He accounted for all 3 of their runs. But besides that, we have not seen each of these teams score 3 runs in a game together. And I think today is the day where we see a really tight game all the way down the wire. Back and forth action, home runs, hits and runs, and everything in between. Now, let's talk about Framber Valdez, who has made 2 starts already this year. He's a 2.19 ERA. That looks pretty good. However, a 1.38 whip, it leaves a lot to be desired. He's been walking guys, putting guys on base. I think today could be the day when that whip starts to creep back into that ERA, his expected ERA much higher. His last 4 starts for Texas, a team that saw him a ton last year, 6-1, 4, and 3 earned runs. I mean, this is a guy in Valdez, when he doesn't have it, you can tell pretty quickly, and he will give up a lot of hits and runs. On the 1 earned run start, he had 6 hits and 4 walks allowed. We just couldn't get those timely hits, which obviously we're going to need timely hits to hit and over. But last year, we saw Valdez kind of struggle on the road. You saw his strikeout to walk ratio go from 5.35 at home, so a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks, to 2.51. So he wasn't getting a lot of whiffs on the road and also was walking a good amount of guys. And that's just dangerous, putting a really talented Rangers team that nearly got no hit yesterday. I mean, they didn't have a lot of hits to their name. They obviously scored a run in the bottom of the 9th to make it 3-1. But at the end of the day, a lot of their guys went hitless yesterday, and we did consider some of them for the hit parlay today. We'll see if any of them make it. But the Rangers have seen Valdez a ton, 190 plate appearances versus him, a 280 batting average, and 8% walk percentage as well. So they're walking, getting hits. I think there's going to be a lot of trouble on the base paths today. Just comes down if we get those timely hits, and I think we will from the Rangers side. Now, we're talking about the Rangers. Andrew Heaney will start for them. He had a solid start to the year. He went out there, had a pretty good outing against the Rays, but congrats, it's the dang Rays. This is the Astros, a team we know is capable of hitting lefties, and they've seen him 182 times combined, 289 batting average, over an 8 walk percentage. So they've been getting on base with him. You look at both of these pitchers have an earned runs line set at 2.5, juiced on the over. Heaney's is about minus 155, and you got Valdez at like minus 125. So they're both thinking, hey, we think both these starting pitchers give up 3 runs, maybe even more. And I think that could easily happen today. In the 4th game of a series, you've already seen every single reliever basically. And yesterday, the Astros threw out arguably their best relievers with Presley and Montero. They've both pitched in back-to-back days. I'd be shocked if either of them pitched today. And then they had Hader throw 20 pitches last night to close out that game. So at the end of the day, both these teams have used a lot of relievers over the past few days. The guys have kind of already seen it, each of these guys. So I really think we're going to see some runs early in this game against Valdez and Heaney, and also I think late in this game against the bullpens, because you've already seen the guys before. Normally a recipe for disaster for a bullpen guy, because you don't normally see them too often, but now you're seeing them back to back to back. I think it's the day we see a lot of runs scored in this game. We've seen Astros we've seen each of these two teams be capable of putting up 10 runs by themselves. I'm hopeful that we get a little bit more of a combined attack and not just a lopsided effort where we're needing like 8 runs from one team and 2 from the other. I really like the over 9.5. You can take it at 10 if you really want to, but like Logan is doing with his 8 and 8.5, I'd rather get a chance at winning than taking a 10 at push. So do what you want with it. I really think I like the over in Dallas tonight. But Logan, I reckon you know what time it is. First, we need to get the rock music going, and then we need to wave the flags. It is Nerfy Nation time. Come on, baby. The flags are out. Yesterday we moved to 6-3 on Nerfies. Today we aim for 7-3. Now, I highly doubt we have a stream today, and that's sad news. Damper on the affairs as I'm in Dallas. Actually, today is the day of the solar eclipse, which is why I'm out here with my wife's family. But without further ado, hopefully we can cash Nerfy on solar eclipse day. And we are going, and if you've looked at the slate, you probably know where we're headed, because we're heading to Yankee Stadium. We're taking the Marlins and Yankees. Now we're on first inning, minus 110 on Bet365. Now, we don't typically take a lot of Yankee Stadium Nerfies because one swing with a bat can end you. But look, when Nerfy goes to New York City, we're going with him. So let's talk about Nestor Cortez. Logan can talk about the other guy. Nestor, 7-0 on Nerfies at Yankee Stadium last year, 10-2 overall. This year, 0-2 on Nerfies. He hasn't been great, but I think he dials it back, and he was a much better pitcher at home last season, which obviously is where he is today. And we're also thinking about a Marlins team that's going to lead off the game with Luis Arraez and Josh Bell probably in their 1-2 or 1-3 slot. And you look at both those two guys, Arraez hitting 143 and Josh Bell hitting 167 versus lefties. So Nestor, he is a lefty. He's going to come in here, hopefully get us those first 3 outs. I'm not too scared of the Marlins offense. They just dropped 6 in the first inning yesterday. You took the Nerfy, you got wrecked there. But I really think this is a good spot to fade the Marlins. Coming off their first win of the season. Clap it up, Marlins. Great work, great work. Go out there and get us those first 3 outs, Marlins. We know you're capable. But Logan, I'll let you talk about the second guy who's going to pitch for the Marlins. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, it's our Nerfy goat, Jesus Luzardo, is starting for the Marlins. Luzardo, 27-5 on Nerfies last year. I'm telling you, this guy is the most profitable Nerfy pitcher, for us at least. He's already 2-0 on Nerfies this season. We backed him in his last start, and it worked out. Now, he does face a Yankees team that they have power at the top of the lineup, but they're 20th in first inning runs. Not as good as you might expect. Now, Luzardo, how he's going to have to navigate this lineup, he's going to have to avoid the very obvious Stanton and Judge solo blasts. They're definitely primed for that, which is why we don't take a lot of Yankees Nerfies, especially in Yankee Stadium where they have the Mickey Mouse right field porch. But we look at his splits versus some of these hitters. Rizzo 1 for 10 and Stanton 0 for 9 with 6 Ks versus lefties this season. Those are 2 guys that will likely have to deliver with guys on base. Like if let's just say Juan Soto draws a walk or whatever, because it's what he's good at doing. The guys behind him are going to have to hit him home. And I don't really think either of these guys should see left-handed pitching well. Luzardo is a really tough guy to face first time through the order, which is why we like backing him in the no-run first inning portion. Nerfy Nation, Solar Eclipse Edition. Let's get it.
Bang, baby. Let's cash a Nerfy, wave the flags, and hopefully move to 7-3 on Nerfies. If we could hit 70% of them this season, we would be certainly very, very happy. But those are our favorite picks of the day. As a reminder, when the hit parlay is live on Odds Checker, I will link it right above Logan's face. Just go click on his face, and you'll see our 2-leg hit parlay on Odds Checker. I'll also link it in the pinned comment and the description down below. That will be our fourth and final play of the day. You guys have a wonderful Monday. I will have some fun at the Eclipse, where it's totality, I believe, in Dallas. I don't really know what the heck. I'm not a big space guy, but I am here for fun. And so I will see you guys, and Logan and I will see you both back here tomorrow on Tuesday, and we'll see you guys then. Peace.